Alrighty, hello, welcome back to All the Words She Wrote. I forgot what happened last time. Audio's good? Okay, thank you. What is it? I think we just overheard our aunt and Hidri talk about her deadlines or something like that. I don't know. It's a blistering hot day, but I head out into the garden nonetheless. I have washing to hang up, and it seems unlikely Hidri will follow me out here. Hidri might be a vampire, but I distinctly remember having her hiss when exposed to sunlight. It seems unlikely, all things considered, that Hidri will feel compelled to stop out in the yard to shout at me, no matter how annoyed she might be. Of course, I'm not stupid enough to think Hidri will let me off the hook for this. I've no doubt she'll scold me for my actions eventually in this case. I even think I deserve it, but I want to delay the inevitable confrontation for as long as possible. I guess I should focus on the laundry. It's been a week since I last did it, and it's really piled up. I bend and fish an article of clothing out of the basket and peg it onto the line. The sun beats down on the nape of my neck while I work, and the warm breeze stirs my hair. The glow is on the line. I bend to the laundry basket again and retrieve another article of clothing. I think it's oversized. Sure, it might be something of Hidri's. I don't recognize it. It's incredible, I think, as I work, how many clothes you can get through during the summer. It's so humid and muggy all the frickin' time, and you can't help but sweat all over everything. Shirts are only good for a one-time wear, if that, when it's really hot. I sometimes have to change in the middle of the day. The heat today is intense enough to border an unpleasant. My skin feels damp, like I've just stepped out on a sauna, and my shirt is sticking to the curve of my spine. Maybe I should have showered after this. I feel kinda gross. At least the clothes should dry pretty quickly. I can't really see Hidri putting up the temperature like this, no matter how much she wants to chew me out. I should try to think of a few responses to her potential queries while I work. Yes, Hidri, I was listening in on your conversation with Sei, but that's only because I care about you. I've been really worried, you see, and I was afraid I might have upset you, but I don't know for certain because you won't talk to me. I figured you were the least speak to Sei, so I was listening in, but I didn't mean anything bad by it, I swear. I really do want us to be friends. How would that go down? Is it too desperate? Knowing Hidri, not that I do, not very well, she'd probably turn her nose up at it. She doesn't seem to like anything I do. Maybe our cohabitation was doomed from the start. We're too different. I'm starting to worry now that Hidri regards me as being so far beneath her, she might have even bothered shouting at me. She could go right back to ignoring me as she always has. Do I really mean that little to her? I bend and grab an item of clothing at random, a shirt this time. It's one of mine, a cute ruffled blouse. I straighten my back, retrieve a couple of wooden pegs, and fasten the shirt to the line. There it flutters pure white like a flag. I bend again, grab, stretch, bend, then grab, and... Mayo, are you busy? Oh! I was so caught up in my task and in my own circling thoughts that Hidri's sudden appearance takes me by surprise. I fumble with the dress in my hands, another one of mine, then drop it, and lands at my feet all coiled up, a wispy short skirt thing without sleeves. My dress looks very insubstantial, lying there on the ground like a shred chrysalis. What the heck? Careful. Hidri tuts. It won't do to have my housekeeper flinging things on the ground while she's hanging out the laundry. It doesn't give me much faith in your abilities. I duck, both my hide to my flushed face and retrieve the fallen garment. I snatch it up without bothering to examine it for any new stains or streaks of dirt and peg it to the line. Then, when I feel a bit calmer, I finally face Hidri. My face still feels flushed, but this might be the closest to calm I'll ever get around her. I'm keenly aware that this is the first time in 2 weeks the Hidri has sought me out. She's finally speaking to me without a door in the way. I can't afford to screw this up. I didn't know you had much faith in me, full stop. My voice when I finally found it is more untroubled than I feel. My hands, which are resting at my sides, are trembling. A brief silence passes between us, disturbed only by the clothes fluttering on the line. I worry, during this silence, whether I've already ruined things. Did my remarks sound too flippant? But you're right about that. Hidri replies at long last, with a nod of her head and a smile. Her smile is small enough to be imperceptible, but it doesn't escape my notice. I didn't have much faith in you when you first came here with Sei. I still don't, in fact, but you're not doing an awful job at being my housekeeper, I suppose. You've been keeping on top of chores as far as I can tell, and you've been making me 3 meals a day. Your food isn't always to my liking, but I guess it's better than instant noodles. I know I've not been very forthcoming, but Hidri scuffs the ground with the tip of her sneaker. I should probably thank you, not that I need to. It's not like you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You're being paid to look after me. I get that, but it's still nice, I think. In a way. I guess what I'm trying to say is you're not as annoying as I thought you'd be. Hidri. I stared at my pint-sized employer, hardly daring to believe the words spilling from her lips. I was positive when she called me out, then she'd come to castigate me, but no, instead she's actually thanking me. This is also unexpected. It's beggar's relief. Is this some sort of dream? I'm tempted to pinch myself, but I withstand this self-destructive urge. The heat on the nape of my neck and the burning of the familiar blush upon my cheeks makes it clear that this scene is no hallucination. It's way too detailed. I'm prone to getting lost in my own daydream, but my imagination isn't good. I'm glad to hear you say that, but what brought this on? I'm not sure, really. It's just occurred to me. I suppose while I was talking to Sei, she was getting frustrated, as you no doubt heard. So, Hidri does know I was eavesdropping. Well, of course she does. I wasn't being subtle about it. Which doesn't happen as often as you think. I've had problems with deadlines in the past, but Sei usually understanding about it. She nags me, but she never shouts. She's too mature to lose her cool. That's what I thought at least, but Hidri's long eyelashes fall shut. She exhales. There's been a lot of problems with the 9th volume of Elf Forest. I was supposed to finish it months ago, but I can't find the inspiration. I kept pushing the deadline further and further back, which has started to create problems. Sei tried to be considerate in the beginning, but the situation must be weighing on her. I know she's under a lot of pressure herself. Sei is essentially my manager, and when I fail to meet my deadlines, it reflects badly on her too. That's probably why she snapped at me. I don't think she wanted to lose her temper. She's just reached a point where she couldn't hold it anymore. I must have brought it out of her. Sei might have apologized in the aftermath, but it was an empty gesture. I know she meant everything she said, and what's more, I know that I deserved it. I'm stubborn and selfish, and I cause no end of problems. I really do bring out the worst in people, even nice people like Say. She's doing her best for my sake, but Hidri looks at her feet, half eyes, half lidded. She looks so dejected, so completely unlike Hidri I thought I knew. I want to hug her. I don't like seeing her so upset. I'm kind of a loser. I don't treat people nicely. Is it any wonder they get sick of me? Say hasn't thrown in the towel just yet, but if this keeps up, she might. I know I'm not been treating her fairly. Hidri lifts her head. Her eyes met mine, a rich dark brown. And I've not been treating you fairly either. You've not done anything wrong, but I still treat you coldly. I didn't much want you here, it's true, but I did agree to this arrangement. You're here because of me, so I thought I should try to be a bit nicer to you, that's all. What? Oh, I see. This seems a hopelessly inadequate response on my part in the face of Hidri's raw emotion, but I don't know what else to say. This is so unexpected. I'm not sure what an appropriate response would be. Part of me almost wishes Hidri had stormed out of here, fire in her eyes, with the sole intent of upbraiding me. That would be more in keeping with what I thought I knew about her. Then I wouldn't have to see her looking so sad. Hidri's shoulders are slumped and her lower lip is trembling. Say's expected scowling really must have done a number on her, though she dressed as she always does. I can hardly recognize her. She's acting like a stranger. But then again, Komikado Hidri is a stranger. I pored over every volume of L4 she's written, sometimes thrice over, and I've adored them all. I love Hidri's world and I love her characters. But what do I know about Hidri herself? Why did I ever think I was qualified to give her advice, or even cheer her on? She never asked me to do that. It's as Nina said, I was putting unnecessary pressure on her. It did hurt a bit, I suppose, when you started to ignore me, but, well... I fished for the words in the ensuing silence, my eyes downcast. Maybe I deserved it. I was getting pretty intense about L4's, asking about the next volume stuff. If I'd known you were having trouble with it, I wouldn't have been so pushy. It's not my place to ask. I'm not one of your editors or your publisher. I'm just a stupid fan who overstepped her boundaries. If anything, I should be the one apologizing to you. I'll admit, I had similar thoughts of my own. You were being pretty obnoxious when you went into that long rant. I wince. I know it's true, but she doesn't have to say it. But you are a stupid fan, as you said, with an especial emphasis on the stupid part. Hidri smiles as she did 2 weeks prior during my tussle with Barney. I've not seen enough of Hidri to gauge what exactly brings her joy, but I'm starting to suspect that she might be something of a sadist. Does she like seeing me squirm? If so, she must have having a ton of fun right now. My face is even more flushed than the fleshy of freshly cooked shrimp. I know you didn't mean to upset me back there. I don't believe you even considered my feelings on the matter. You're too focused on Elf Forest. You must be a huge fan. I am a huge fan. I adore Elf Forest. It's from the bottom of my heart. It's like my favorite thing. Yes, you made that quite apparent. Good grief. Hidri clicks her tongue. I suppose I should be grateful for your support. It's because of zealous fans like you that I'm able to live a relatively comfortable life. This knowledge does grate on me, though. It does? But why? Is that, I swallow. This might be a rude thing to ask Hidri, but And I have laid so much bare after 2 weeks of silence. Our raw emotions spread out like sliced sashimi on a platter. I feel unnatural to stop now. I may love Tsuchimi Ryu's writing, but I want to learn about the person behind all of that. I want to learn about Kamikado Hijiri. How does she feel about all this, and why? If I let the matter go now, I'm afraid I might never be able to understand her. Is that because of your writer's block? Does it make you uncomfortable, knowing that I want to read the next volume? It does, yes. Having you around is a constant reminder that I have yet to finish my work. I think that may be why I asked you to be my housekeeper in the first place. Perhaps she hoped by forcing me to interact with one of my fans, it would imbue me with some sense of responsibility. I've never made an effort to reach out to my fans before, as you should be only too aware. I don't appear at conventions, though I've been invited a couple of times, and I never do autograph sessions. Fan email goes to Horizon. Nobody knows my personal email's address other than my publishers. Say sometimes forwards me particularly nice emails, but I don't read them. I prefer to pretend that my fans don't exist. That makes it easier for me to focus on my work. If I was too aware of my own popularity, the weight of everybody's expectations would become unbearable. I can't forget that I have fans with you around, though sometimes I wish I could. Sometimes I wish Alforus didn't have any fans at all. It would be hard on me financially speaking, but it might make me feel better. Then I'd finally be free. I don't get it. My brow furrows. How are you not free? How can I be free when people are always asking me for the next volume of Elf Forest? You're not the only one I have to answer to. I need to think about my superiors and about Sei and all my other fans. I like to think that they don't exist, but I can't ignore them outright, not when I receive my royalties. I don't read my emails, but I know what they're all thinking. I put one volume out in days, no hours later, people will start asking for the next one. They're insatiable. It doesn't matter how hard I work, nothing I do is ever enough. It's exhausting. Hijiri's brow furrows into mine. It feels almost like she's filleting me. What the fuck? I know Sei is waiting for the next volume of Elf Forest. A lot of people are. Some important, others less so. I need to push it out by the time the TV anime starts airing, at least to boost sales across the board. I'm too tired to care about any of that, though. I feel exhausted and there's no end in sight. At this point, I'm afraid I'll be stuck writing Elf Forest until I die. I could try to write something new, and I have, but that's not what anybody wants. Tsuchimi Ryu is synonymous with Elf Forest. Cinnamon. Nobody cares about his other, less popular short series, and absolutely nobody cares about Kamikado Hijiri. Hijiri grits her teeth together. She's been doing a good job of maintaining her composure, but now I can see fissures beginning to form in her once expressionless veneer. I'm sick of Tsuchimi Ryu, and I'm sick of Elf Forest, and I'm sick of death of my fans. I'm sick of absolutely everything. Sometimes I wish it would all go away. Oof. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I'm back. Hidri returns inside when she's said her piece, leaving me among the laundry alone. I stare at the house, arms hanging by my side. I'm unsure of what to do with myself, and I'm unsure how to feel. Hidri wasn't shouting when she spoke to me, far from it. Her voice was calm and her expression was almost placid, like the surface of an undisturbed lake. She didn't look angry as she did 2 weeks prior, outside Kinokuniya. Instead, she looked utterly drained, defeated even. I had no idea Hidri felt that way about Elforce. I thought she might have been having difficulties with its 9th volume, but I never imagined that she outright resent her own series and the fans who support it. How could she, when Elforce is so incredible? I can understand Nina turning her nose up at Elforce, not that I agree with her opinions on the matter, which are bad and wrong, because she's never read it. Nina doesn't know the first thing about Elforce. Hidri is different though. She's Elforce's creator. She should be more aware of its strength than anybody else. That doesn't seem to be the case, however. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Hidri's confession was so shocking I had no idea how to reply. I tried to think of something to say, but nothing came to mind. Nothing sounded appropriate. I'm not a writer like Hidri. I'm pretty clumsy with my words. I always seem to have to say the wrong thing. Maybe it's for the best I said nothing. That's why I want to tell myself, but I don't know if I believe that. I crouch down by my basket of laundry and pick up any article of clothing at random. Rising, I peg it to the line with trembling fingers. The warm breeze stirs my hair and the hem of my skirt. All the while I think of Hidri. Excuse me. Hidri remains on my mind for the rest of the day. I think about Hidri when I bring the empty laundry basket inside, and again when I take the now dry laundry off the line hours later. I think about Hidri when I cook dinner, and when I leave her meal outside her bedroom, and when I clean the dirty dishes. I think about Hidri in the bath, and of course I think of her when I lie in my futon, my hair untied, loose strands splayed across my pillow. Whoa there. That's a lot of obsession right there. I look up at the ceiling, my eyes unfocused. It's another warm night, and it feels like the air is weighing down upon me. My pajamas stick to my damp skin. I sigh. Now I know how Hidri feels. I can't help but feel for her. I want to do something to cheer her up, but what? Since I have no idea what to say, perhaps I should buy her a gift instead. What would Hidri like? My consciousness frayed after hours of ceaseless worrying. It's beginning to fade. But before I drift into the land of dreams, an image drifts into the forefront of my mind. I see Hidri as she was 2 weeks prior, before our big argument. This Hidri sits at the table in petite jardin, knife and fork in hand, her eyes wide with childish delight. In front of her, piled high on a white plate, is a stack of perfectly round, fluffy brown pancakes topped with maple syrup. I don't know if I've seen Hidri as happy as she was when she was digging into those pancakes. It's a long shot, but would that be enough to make her smile? At this point, I'd be willing to do almost anything. I awake early in the following morning, as had been my habit since moving in with Hidri. I've always been a lazy person, but maybe my newfound role as Hidri's housekeeper has forced me to become a little more responsible. I like Hidri's writing a lot, so I want to support her. I'll do anything I can to make her life easier, whether that's by sweeping the floor or making her food. Excuse me. Working for somebody you like rather than some faceless corporation that doesn't give a crap about you is pretty motivating, though it'd be a lie if I said Hidri's been the best boss. Then again, I might have been the best employee. I upset Hidri through inadvertently, and she upsets me, but I want to think we could put that behind us. Today's a brand new day, and with it should come a brand new start. I have a quick shower to rinse off the sweat accumulated overnight, brush my teeth, and get dressed. By the point it's around 7:30 on a normal day, I head downstairs to make a start on breakfast, but I decide to hold off. Adrienne seems fond enough of my cooking. She eats most of my meals, though she does, I've noticed, leave her green peppers and eggplants untouched, like a spoiled kid, but I want to give her a real treat. I think of knocking on Hidri's door, but I've no doubt she'll be asleep right now. I should let her rest a bit longer. I don't want to get on her bad side. I while away the next handful of hours with menial chores. I sweep the downstairs hallway, polish the banisters, and wipe down the windows. By the time I'm done, the hallway is shining. It's a little before 10 that I descend upon Hidri's room. I rap at her door with my knuckles, then stand back, waiting, fingers curled at my front. Hey Hidri, I'm sorry to disturb you, but can I talk to you for a sec? It's nothing serious, so don't worry. I had an idea, you see. My words are met with the sound of shifting sheets. Is Hidri awake already? I don't expect to receive much more than a monosyllable, but so her actual reply catches me off guard. What is it? Hidri's voice drifts through the door, more lucid than I anticipated. She doesn't sound intrigued, per se, but she doesn't sound outright angry either. That's reassuring. It's about breakfast. I was thinking rather than making you anything myself, we could go to Petit Jardin. I know you like their pancakes. I thought I could treat you, maybe. Huh. Hidri ponders for a few moments, then replies. That's not a terrible idea. I do like Petit Jardin's pancakes, although... I can hear the curl in Hidri's lip even through the door. What's this about treating me? I don't need your charity. I don't know your exact financial situation, but I'm certain I'm wealthier than you are. I know that. I wasn't trying to insinuate otherwise. I just figured, since this was my idea, I should foot the bill. You're just going to be going along with that, right? I suppose so. But where's this money of yours coming from, Mayo? She raises a good point. I guess it comes from you, but... Then you might as well let me pay for everything. That's how it'll work out. Anyway, regardless of whether you open your wallet or not. I know that, but it's the, I struggle for my words, my face turning pink. For once, I'm glad Hidri always keeps her bedroom door shut so she can't see my face. She'd probably laugh at me if she could to see how red I am right now. Why am I getting so worked up? It's the principle of the thing. I seize upon this word as though it means something, though in actuality, not even I'm sure what I'm trying to get. I just want to treat you is all. I want to make you happy. Goodness me, why are you getting so worked up about who pays for what? It's not like it matters. You're talking like a self-conscious man out on a first date. Don't tell me you want to impress me. No, it's not. It's not like that at all. Then what is it like? I hear a pad of footsteps and the sliding of the door. The door opens, and to my surprise, Hidri is revealed before me, one hand resting on a wooden door jamb. Hidri's thick curly brown hair is tied back into two buns, as per usual, and her brown eyes, which peer into mine, having a challenging glint to them. I blink, taken aback quite literally. What is it? Cat got your tongue? No, I'm just a bit surprised is all. I didn't think you'd actually open your door. Well, of course I did. How else do you propose I get to Petit Jardin? What? Does that mean you're considering it? Will you actually come with me? If you're offering, then yes, I will. You sound so intense about this, though goodness knows why. I feel almost too guilty to turn you down. I'll even let you pay for my pancakes if you really, really want to. Here, Hijiri's lip quirked upwards with a thin smile. Though you and I both know that's for show. Right, of course, I feel so flustered by this unexpected development. The smile I offer Hijiri in return comes out all crooked. Why is my heart pounding so hard? Do you want to go then? Sure. I'm ready whenever you are. Really? I look Hijiri up and down. She's wearing her usual oversized tracksuit, which is so long that the legs has to be rolled up a few times around her ankles. Don't you want to get dressed first? I am dressed. I'm wearing clothes, aren't I? I know that, but surely you have more to wear than that. And are you saying this isn't good enough? Oh no, I'm not saying that. Not at all. If you like, it's fine. I just thought, I don't know. You've been wearing that for the last 2 weeks. Maybe you feel better if you put something else on, you know, as a change of pace? I think I know what I like wearing, thank you. You don't have to fuss. I'm 4 years older than you are, remember? Right, of course. I bow my head apologetically. I'm sorry for stepping out of line. You better be. Hijiri harums, her arms crossed. There's no reason for me to dress up to go to Petit Jardin of all places. It's not like we're going to a wedding or a funeral. It's not very special, really, but... Here, Hijiri relents. She glances at me, arms still folded, and says in a voice sweeter than the norm. I'm not much of a people person, but I'm not utterly dense. I can tell you're doing this to cheer me up. It won't work, of course. A few pancakes won't take care of my problems, but it's nice you're making an effort. I'll try to play along if it'll make you happy, but you've got to do something about your driving. I'll rescind every single one of my compliments if you get us into an accident on the way, do you hear? Yes, ma'am. I'll do my best. I offer Hijiri a salute, smiling now. If you got into a fatal clash, you'll never be able to finish the Fell Forest. I can't let that happen, so I gotta do my best. Huh. Hijiri presses her lips together. All of a sudden, the prospect of getting involved in an accident doesn't seem too unappealing. Now, there'll be less of that. Let's look on the bright side. Now let's go to Petit Jardin awaits, and so do their delicious pancakes. I'll do my best not to get us into a perilous accident, so don't worry. You can trust me. Probably. Damn. She's like, nah, be prepared, be aware. Excuse me. Damn. I think coffee makes me burp a lot. I think I should make one thing apparent. Lest you get any funny ideas, I am not a simpleton. Huh? I survey Hijiri's perplexed from across the other side of the table. There must be some context behind this sudden statement I'm missing, but I can't think what that might be. The pair of us are sitting at Petit Jardin at one of the window tables. A smiling waitress already took our orders, so now we're waiting on our food. Hidri ordered pancakes as is to be expected while I went with the oyakodon. Hidri hasn't said much or anything at all really, since instructing the waitress, her voice cool and crisp, that she wanted a stack of pancakes covered in extra syrup with cream soda to drink. That's why Hidri's sudden statement catches me so off guard. It's the sort of remark that might be thrown out in an argument, but as far as I'm aware, no arguing has taken place, not unless Hidri has been bad-mouthing me inside her head. It's all very peculiar. What are you talking about? Isn't it obvious? Hidri harums and her slender arms folded across her chest. I am not a simpleton. I never said you were. You can't be. You wrote Elf Forest. I am well aware of that, thank you, but please don't shout about such things. Somebody might hear you. Hidri glances surreptitiously about Petite Jargon. Fortunately for her, it's not all that crowded. The woman sitting closest to us, a few tables down, is too busy trying to wipe her young son's face free of splattered milkshake to eavesdrop on our conversation. And even if she was listening, I doubt she gleaned very much from my enthusiastic phrase. She doesn't look like the sort of person with her frumpy cardigan and her black neatly paired hair who would read Elf Forest. Then again, I might be wrong. I often am. For years I thought Tsuchimi Ryu was a guy. Sorry about that, Hidri, hee. I laugh while running my hand through my hair. But I really don't think you're simple. You're very smart. I can't be smart, not when I'm stuck writing a series full of cliches. Hidri counters sullenly, much to my surprise. I like Hidri and all, but sometimes I have to wonder what her problem is. I thought she said she wasn't simple, and now she's saying she is? Is she just trying to be contrary? I swear, I don't get her. So, are you saying that you are simple? No, I'm not simple. But you just said you weren't smart. Not being smart and being simple are two different things. There are degrees. Uh-huh. I nod, but in actuality I don't understand what she's talking about. Does that make me the simple one? I guess it's not like I've made any pretensions otherwise. My grades back in school were abysmal across the board, at least insofar as academics were concerned. So, what's the problem? The problem, Mayo, is that you seem to think I'm so feeble-minded my whole mood would turn around with a few pancakes. I'm not that easy to please. Don't expect miracles. I'm not a little kid. I'll concede it was nice of you to bring me to Petite Jargon, but don't think you can butter me up by... Alright, here we are. The cheery waitress cuts through Hidri's rant with this thrilling declaration coupled with a warm smile. Here is your okuyadon. The waitress sets a bowl of full rice and fried chicken down in front of me. And here are your pancakes. She plonks the plate of pancakes in front of Hidri, all golden brown, topped with stickily simmering syrup. Our drinks come next, oolong tea for me, and cream soda for Hidri. With our orders handed out, the waitress flashes us another smile, all shiny white teeth. Let me know if you need anything else. I'll be happy to assist. The waitress then turns neatly on her heels and the tray tucked under her arm. Her pencil skirt isn't really built for fluttering, but her dark hair, tied back into a ponytail, swishes as she walks away. I watch her depart for a fraction of a second, then glance back at Hidri. She's staring at her pancakes with the rapt, wide-eyed attention of a little kid. If this were a cartoon, I'm sure her eyes would be sparkling. These look so good. And they smell even better. It's time to dig in. Hidri praises her pancakes for a few seconds before swooping in for the kill. She grips her fork tight. Its tines wrinkle in the sunlight. Hidri sighs with contentment as she swallows her first fluffy mouthful. I swear, Hidri never usually looks this happy. Not even half this happy. Only pancakes can bring smiles this sweet and guileless face of hers. So how are they? Good? They're really good. Petite Jordan pancakes are the best. I'm glad to hear that. I can't help but smile myself, amused at Hidri's excitement. She sounds pretty pissy earlier, but the pancakes have placated her. She's done a total of 180. I'm a little curious about where she was going exactly with her prior rant, but I guess I'll never know now. Maybe some things are better left unsaid. Really, though. I smile. I thought Hidri said she wasn't simple. She might act stern and serious, but when it comes to pancakes, she's incredibly predictable. It's hard to believe she's 4 years older than I am. And she's short too. At times like this, Hidri really is adorable. Our breakfast consumed, Hidri and I leave Petite Jordan behind us to take a leisurely stroll. We walk aimlessly with no real direction. I'm content to simply enjoy the summer sunshine as it swarms the top of my head, but a sharp inhalation of air, courtesy from my companion, makes me pause. I turn and my eyes soon catch up upon the figure which sparked our debate 2 weeks prior. Oh no, they're at the Kino Yuki thing, aren't they? That life-size cardboard Sandy of Astra is still on display for the local Kino Kuniya, her sword drawn, her dark pigtails whipped about her cute face. Ugh, is that thing still here? What a pain. Excuse me. Hidri narrows her eyes, not, I think, to blot out the sunlight. She looks completely and almost indescribably fed up. The cherry mood she exhibited from Petite Jordan as she worked her way through the hefty stack of pancakes has evaporated. Hidri. I settled up to Hidri, my voice softer than it really needs to be. My last blow with Hidri must have left me with some degree of trauma, cause I'm afraid she might turn on me again. I don't want that to happen. It was painful enough once without reliving it. Are you, alright? I'm as alright as I can be, I suppose. Hidri doesn't really answer anything, but I don't press her. It looks like she has a bit more she wants to say. It does make me wonder, though. Haven't any new light novels come out during the last 2 weeks? Why don't they get their own displays? I'm sure a bunch of other light novels have come out since then. New series are being released like every other day, but they'll probably wind up being forgotten. They just don't stand out. They're not like Elf Forest. Hidri clicks her tongue. She looks displeased. If Elf Forest is the gold standard in the light novel world, it makes me worried about the medium. Elf Forest is nothing special, really. I have a lot of objections I could make to that remark, but I decide to keep quiet. Hidri knows how I feel about Elf Forest already. I should accept that we have different perspectives and leave it at that. There'll be less figurative bloodshed that way. And it's been 7 months since Volume 8 was released. It should have fallen by the wayside by now. If Elf Forest were any other light novel series, I guess it would have, but it hasn't. People are more eager for the next volume than ever before. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't want to stress you out, but... I catch my cheek with my finger, then offer Hidri a smile. Elf Forest has a lot of fans. It's no accident that it wound up being so popular. People like it because you're good at what you do. That's why I get why it gets its window display and more recent light novels don't. People love Elforest a lot, myself included. I know I'm super invested to see what happens in Volume 9. There's so many plot threads that need wrapping up, and I can't wait to see which girl Itsuki will confess to. He's going to end up with Luluna, isn't he? I know Astra has a lot of fans, but she doesn't have the same chemistry with him that Luluna does. Oh boy, it's gonna happen all over again. It'd be criminal if another girl stole Itsuki's heart. That really pissed me off. I think you might be a bit too emotionally invested. I'm not sure if that's healthy, but... Adri looks at her secret-clad feet, her eyes half-lidded. You really do like Elforest, don't you? That's where you be wrong, Hidri. I'm wrong? Yes, you are. I don't just like Elforest, I love it. I'm one of its biggest fans. I get that you don't like talking about it with me, but I can't help but gush about it. I'm being honest here. The way I see it, I wouldn't be into Elforest if it wasn't amazing. You would say that. You don't have any taste or common sense, for that matter. Maybe not. It's not like I read a lot or any proper books, but I like to think my opinion matters just a little. I'm being serious when I say that I love Elforest. I've read it a bunch of times, and with each reread, I find something new to like about it. The characters feel so real, it's like they could step out of the pages. Their dialogue is so fun and lively, and the world they live in is so detailed, it makes the real world seem dull and plain by comparison. I always forget about my worries when I'm reading Elforest. I love your characters, and I love the world they live in. I draw in a breath and right hand pressured my chest. I can hear my heart thumping beneath my splayed fingers. It's beating so hard I swore I could feel it too. And I love you too, Hidri. Huh? Hidri takes a step back, abashed. With his wide eyes, she stares at me, her face an adorable shade of cherry red. Bruh, not the confession. It's not even like a confession of like actual like loving a person. It's just loving them and their work as a fan only. That's crazy. Wait, no. You can't say that to your employer. No. It's illegal. No, it's not really illegal, but you can't do that. How can you say that, you dummy? You hardly know me. I know, but I can't help it. You wrote my favorite series of all time. How could I not love you? I've admired you for a really long time, before I knew your real name, or your real gender. I've always wanted to meet you so I could tell you these things. This might sound creepy. Geez, you think? But I don't mean anything bad by it. I just want you to know, no matter what you think about Elforest, I adore it. So do lots of other people. I know you're under a lot of pressure, and I don't want to make that worse. Really, I don't. I just want to cheer you on. Do you think you could find it in you to write Elforest's 9th volume? Please, Hidri, I'm asking as a fan, both of your work and of you as a person. You might be having a hard time writing lately, but I have faith in you. Elforest never would have gotten as popular as it is if you weren't talented. You've come a really long way, so please. Won't you keep on going? If not for my sake, then for yours. Hidri surveys me, her lips purse. The worst of her blush has faded, but 2 pale pink spots remain on her cheek, faintly ghostly incarnations of her previous embarrassment. She folds her arms. Then she shakes her head. You're hopeless, Mayo. I am? Indisputably. I don't really understand why you're so obsessed with Elforest. No, wait. Hidri clicks her tongue. I do understand. You think Elforest is good because you don't know any better. By your own admission, you don't read much. You were drawn in by the cute character designs, not the actual story. I imagine most of my so-called fans... Hidri makes little quotation marks with her fingers. Are the same. Their opinions aren't worth all that much, but their money is. That's what my publishers are interested in. The actual artistic merit of my work, or lack of, is the least of their concerns. At this point, Elforest only exists to sell copies. There's nothing remarkable other than how obscenely popular it is. Elforest's popularity isn't deserved, not by any means. There are many authors more talented than I, whose efforts are never recognized. When I think of them, I can't help but feel guilty. Sure, there's a lot of unpopular authors out there, but you don't owe them anything. Why would you feel bad for making something lots of people like? You might want to recognize it, but you really are amazing. That's what I think, and nothing you can say change it. I love you, and I want to help you. Cut that out. Hidri glances away, her face flushed anew. My loud declaration of love has drawn a few curious eyes. Pedestrians pause to look at us, some perplexed, others amused. I wonder what they take Hidri and I for. To them we must seem like a couple having a spat in broad daylight. If only we were, that'd be way less convoluted than the truth. No, I won't cut it out. I rejoin, staring Hidri down, heedless of the curious looks I'm receiving. I don't care what any pedestrians might have to say about this. Right now, Hidri's the only person on my mind. I really do love you, Hidri. I have faith in you, and I want to support you. I'll do anything to help you get your motivation back. You need only give the order, and I'll obey it. I'll keep my distance if you want, but I can sit and talk to you if you prefer that. You can share your ideas with me and I could give you feedback, though I can't promise it'll be good feedback, and I can read through the scenes you've been working on. We could go on walks in the woods if you need to take breaks, and I'll prepare absolutely any dessert you want. I'll do anything to make your life easier, Hidri. Absolutely anything. I'll never stop believing in you. I feel out of breath once I finish my declaration. My energy spent, my legs feel all wobbly, and I'm trembling. I just want Hidri to know how much I care for her. Was I able to communicate my feelings properly? I'm no writer like Hidri. I'm not even half as good with words as she is, but I think at least some of my resolve has shown through. Mayo. Awkwardly, Hidri surveys me. She shifts. Then, abashed, she looks at her feet, her eyes half-lidded. You say all that now, but what if I let you down? There's no guarantee I'll be able to write anything despite your support. Wouldn't that make you turn against me? It'd be disappointing, I guess. But I never hate you, Hidri. I love you. You keep saying that. Hidri harums. I wish you wouldn't. You'll give everybody the wrong impression. Oh, who cares what they think? I care. I don't like being stared at like an animal in a zoo. Then I'm very sorry, but Hidri, please, believe me. I take a step towards Hidri, my face full of determination. I rest a hand on her shoulder, if I thought I'd help, but it seems more likely they have the exact opposite effect. I know Hidri isn't on physical contact, and I don't want to startle her. I keep my hands to myself instead and sit a few feet apart, my voice dropping to a whisper. I don't want anybody overhearing us. I know there's a chance you might never write a volume 9 of Elforest, and, well, While that would be disappointing, I still wouldn't hate you. I'd be happy instead that you left so much of Elforce behind that I can love. I'd be happy, of course, if you could write even more of it, but I know inspiration can be kind of fickle. There's no guarantee that I'll be able to help. I'm just doing all I can, I guess. I'm sure it's the same for you. I know you'll work as much as you're able to on Elforce's next volume. If you can write it, that'd be great, but if you can't, I won't push you. That's Say's job, not mine. I just want to make you happy. And I think finishing this volume will make you happy. It would take a weight off your shoulders at least. Am I right? Huh. Hidri scowls. You're so presumptuous. What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You might have read my stories, but that doesn't mean you could read me. You don't know me. We're still strangers, really. But I can tell how sincere you're being. Your love for Elforce is evident, given how passionately you're speaking about it. I think you love it even more than I do, in fact. I can't begin to understand your fascination with Elforce, no, your obsession. But if you're prepared to go this far for my sake, then... Hidri swallows. I suppose it would be uncouth if I didn't attempt to answer your passion. I cannot promise I'll be able to write anything that lives up to your lofty expectations, but I'll make an attempt. I do have one condition, though. What is it? If I'm to produce my best work, I need a continual amount of sugar. Without it, my brain will begin to rot. I won't be able to write a single word, at least not any words worth reading. That being said, Hidri clears her throat, then points a finger in my direction. You have to make me pancakes every single day, and then they have to be as delicious as the ones from Petit Jardin. If they miss the mark, I won't eat them. I'll make you redo them over and over until you get them just right. I'm nothing if I'm not exacting when it comes to sweets. Am I making myself clear? Yes, ma'am, of course. I hold my score, then drop Hidri a curtsy, like maids do in Western-style period dramas. My skirt isn't long enough to pull the look off, but I hope I have communicated my feelings well enough. All the while, I can't stop myself from grinning. I'm happy, elated, almost that I was finally able to get through Hidri. From this day forth, the pair of us are going to work hard. Hidri is going to resume her writing, and I'm going to devote myself to her service. I'll drown her in a sea of fluffy golden brown pancakes, if that's what she wants. I'll do anything, absolutely anything, to help her write again. Hooray. Alright. Take a little break and I will be right back. Alright. I wake up early the following morning and attend to a few chores about the house. Then at 9 o'clock I begin cooking. I brought enough ingredients yesterday to make dozens and dozens of batches of pancakes, so I have an ample reserve in case I make any mistakes. Not that I intend to do that, of course. I'm pretty confident when it comes to cooking. It's one and my only skill which saves me from being utterly useless. Pancakes aren't all that complicated to make. They only require a few basic ingredients and scarcely any time. I've not made pancakes all that often. My family prefers traditional Japanese breakfasts, all white rice and miso soup, but it doesn't take very long before I get the process pat down. I can even flip my pancakes in the pan, just like a real pro. Hoo-hoo! I hum to an old Palette Princess track to myself while I cook. The pan sizzles and the pancake batter begins to solidify. It's like a science experiment, but distinctly more delicious. The buttery smell of freshly made pancakes soon permeates the kitchen. They smell pretty good, if I do say so myself. My mouth's starting to water. I plate up 5 almost perfect pancakes, as round and fluffy as anything you'd order at Petit Jardin, and top them with a pat of sunshine yellow butter and maple syrup. Once I'm convinced the pancakes look as good as I can get them, I take the plate in hand and head upstairs. I'm careful as I take the steps not to tilt the plate. I don't want to spill sticky droplets of golden syrup on my fingers or on the floor. That'd be a pain to clean up, and I'd ruin the aesthetic appeal of breakfast Well, it'd be a lie if I said I labored over it. Pancakes are pretty simple to whip up, but I really did give it my all. I can't wait to see the look on Hidri's face when I present her with these pancakes. If she lets me inside her bedroom, that is. Now that's quite a big if. I think we've come to a newfound understanding, but I still don't know how much she trusts me. I come to a halt outside Hidri's bedroom, then rapped on it on my knuckles. Hidri, are you awake? I hear a familiar stirring from the other side of the door, which is soon paired with a familiar voice. Just about, yes. I think it means she just woke up. She sounds pretty groggy. I suppose it's 9:30. Most businessmen in Tokyo would be at their office already, but Hidri often stays in bed until 10 or 11, or even later. She's a bit like a teenage boy during Golden Week in that sense. Oh well, she's cute, so I can't get mad at her. Are you in the mood to eat? I made you a few pancakes like I said I would. Pancakes? I hear an inhalation of air. Though I can't see Hidri's face, I can imagine her eyes widening, sparkles forming around her face like a scene from a romance novel manga. Are they as good as the ones from Petit Jardin? I don't know about that. I tried one of the rejects and it didn't taste bad, but I'm not a pancake connoisseur like you. You'll have to decide that for yourself. I'll try not to get my hopes up then. Aw, come on, don't be like that. You might be pleasantly surprised. Or profoundly disappointed. Maybe so, but you shouldn't discredit them until you've given them a go. Good point. Let me take a look at these pancakes then. Hidri slides her bedroom door to one side and reveals herself to me. Her arms are folded as they so often are, and she's pouting. Her hair is tied back in her 2 customary buns, but they look even messier than usual, if she's such a thing as possible. She must have rolled out of bed 5 minutes prior. She looks distinctly rumpled, almost woebegone, but her narrowed eyes are razor sharp. I suppose they don't look too bad. Hidri peers at the plate of pancakes in my hands like a real sommelier. They don't look burned, at least, and they smell good too. I'll reserve my judgment until I actually eat them, though. Do you want to come inside, Mayo? I can. If you want. It's only fair after you went to the effort of making me these pancakes. I feel bad shedding you outside. And I'm sure you're dying to know what I think. Am I ever? I was thinking of your smiling face when I was making these pancakes. I feel very honored if you let me see that. There's no guarantee that I'll smile. I might spit the first bite out in disgust. Would you feel honored then? Of course. Spending time with you is enough to make me happy. Goodness me. Hidri shakes her head. You really are a fool, which might be expected. You've really given your taste in literature. At least you don't pair your foolishness with maliciousness, though. Like other people do. There are worse things that can be other than an idiot. Now, come inside. The pancakes will get cold. Hidri ushers me inside her bedroom and hastens to answer her invitation. I haven't been inside Hidri's room since the first disastrous day that I came here, but it looks about the same as I remember. Hidri's floor is tatami, but the rest of the decor is conspicuously Western. Her room smells musty like dirty clothes and instant noodles. When was the last time she opened a window? The trash can by Hidri's desk is overflowing with pet bottles. Excuse me. And empty snack wrappers, and the floor is strewn with clothes I've never seen Hidri wear before. There are dirty plates dotted here and there among these scattered trash and other bits and pieces I can't name. I have to step carefully in Hidri's room in case I step on something breakable. Navigating her room feels a bit like playing a game of Minesweeper. Your room is as interesting as ever, I see. I glance about, an awkward smile on my face. Don't you ever feel like tidying up in here? Why bother? It'll just get messy again. Not if you're careful, it won't. I don't have the time to worry about little things like that. I suppose to be writing. You might feel more like writing if you worked in a nicer environment, though. I hear an alarming crunch underfoot and then look down. I'm terrified I might have stepped on something expensive, but to my relief it turns out to be a can of soda. I sigh. I can tidy up in here if you want. I don't mind. That is part of my job. It's fine. I'm used to the mess. You might be used to it, but that doesn't mean you like it, does it? Maybe. Maybe not. Hidri shrugs. I'll take a long time to clean up. It might, but I won't let it defeat me. I'm sure I can manage it. I have some doubts about that. Hidri takes the plate pancakes from my hands and then sits down at her desk. For now, at least, I want to eat. Of course, I'm sorry if I overstep any boundaries. It's fine. Hidri picks up her knife and fork, then offers me a small, rare smile. Smile. I'm glad that you care. It makes a nice change. Doesn't say care about you. She does, but she doesn't stop by very often. She's too busy. She only comes every once fortnight, or so, and even then it's to talk about deadlines. Everything boils down to work with her. She is a bit of a workaholic, I guess. It's like dominates her whole life. Tell me about it. What about your parents then? Your mother and father? Don't they worry about you? After this, Hidri's small smile vanishes. She frowns, her face stony, and says, "Stay stiffy." Ooh, you said something wrong. I'm gonna take a guess. Either her parents are gone, or she was an orphan. One of the two. Let's not go there. The pancakes are getting cold. Oh, alright. I lean back in my chair, my face furrowed. I don't know much or anything about Hidri's family circumstances, but her reaction makes it apparent that things are less than ideal. Did Hidri and her family have some kind of fight? Maybe they're estranged or completely absent. For all I know, she might not have parents anymore. They could have died years ago. I guess that was an insensitive question. I shouldn't have pried into Hidri's private life like that. I opened my mouth meaning to apologize, but paused. I'm afraid lingering on this topic unduly will hurt Hidri, which is the last thing I want. I made Hidri these pancakes with the hope of making her smile. Poking at what might be old wounds before she begins to eat would undermine all my efforts. I watch as Hidri cuts into the stack of pancakes. She brings a piece of pancake glazed in butter and maple syrup to her lips. She chews. Then she swallows. So, how does it taste? My eyes meet Hidri's from across the room. I feel so anxious, I can't help but squirm. I hope my pancakes were sweet enough, at the very least, to expunge the bitter memories of her parents from her mind, but it's hard to gauge on her reaction. Hidri isn't smiled like I hoped. Is that a bad thing? Time seems to pass slowly, like a video played back at half, or maybe a quarter of the original speed. Then, after a pause, they aren't bad. Hidri replies softly, her brown eyelashes trembling. In fact, I would even go as far to say that your pancakes are quite good, surprisingly so. Oh, thank goodness. I expelled a relieved sigh, then smiled at my grumpy employer. Do you want me to make you pancakes like this every day? I can, if you think they'll get you creative juices flowing. I really would do anything for you, Hidri. Anything, huh? Hidri ponders, one hand beneath her chin. Would you make me a fruit flan? Of course. Or an apple pie? It would be my pleasure. Or a tarte tatin? I don't know how to make that, but that's what the internet's for. I'm sure I could find 1 or 2 recipes. Wouldn't that be a bother? It's no bother at all. When I said I could do anything for you, I really meant it. I just want to make you happy. Mayo. A pink blush spreads across Hidri's cheeks. It's barely visible given how dark her room is, but I'm able to catch it regardless. I can notice the slightest, most subtle of shifts upon Hidri's face. I can't help but observe her like certain fanatics do trains or insects, though. Of course, Hidri is far cuter than both of those things. You... excuse me. Really are trying, aren't you? That's right. I'm doing my best. Your best, huh? Hidri looks down at her stack of pancakes, copiously coated in maple syrup. I was a bit skeptical at first, but it seems like you intend to keep your word. You're surprisingly trustworthy. I can see that you mean to uphold your end of our agreement, so... Hidri's brown eyes met mine, and after a moment's hesitation, a smile captures her lips. I shall do the same. I haven't exerted myself in quite some time, so this should be a novel experience. Let us see where this takes us. It's funny, I thought I lost all of my passion for Alforus, but... Hidri's smile widens. Now I'm almost excited to see how things pan out. Whoa, happy campers, hooray! Excuse me. Following her declaration, Hidri begins to hole herself away in her room like a hermit. She spends her days and her nights cooped up inside there, hunched over her desk. She doesn't leave, save for the moments when she goes to the bathroom, and she doesn't eat any of her meals with me. We rarely exchange words, but I don't hold it against her. I know that this time at least Hidri isn't ignoring me for the sake of it. Hidri is simply too busy to spare me the time. Hidri hasn't announced it officially, perhaps in an attempt to curb any premature enthusiasm, but I suspect she's working on L4's ninth volume. Why else would she be in her room 23 hours a day, chained over her desk? That's gotta be what she's up to. I'm certain of it. There's something pretty exciting about that thought. While I potter about the house, sweeping floors and wiping down windows, Hidri is busy working on a masterpiece right beneath my nose. I feel like I'm residing under the roof of a real genius. Hidri might as well be a Van Gogh, working on his famous painting of the sunflowers. Not that I know much about Van Gogh. Was he the one who cut off his own ear, or was it that another artist? Wait, did he actually do that? Hold on. I'm curious. Okay. Did Van Gogh... I wrote did can go. Bruh. Did Van Gogh... Dang, that's the first, search question. Did Van Gogh cut off his ear? Yes, Vincent Van Gogh cut off part of his left ear, most likely the lower lobe, during a mental breakdown in December 1888. Oh, interesting. Okay, I guess the more you know. I don't know if there's much crossover between painters and writers, but creative sorts all seem to be unbalanced. Maybe it comes with the territory. That's something I like to ask Hidri about, but I decide to keep my distance. I don't want to distract her with my pointless musings, not while she's working. I'd also like, and fervently at that, to take a sneak peek at her writing before it hits the shelves, but I doubt she granted my selfish request. Hidri's something of a perfectionist. I think she'd rather die than show me an unfinished manuscript. I'll have to wait for Volume 9's official release before I can read it, just like everybody else. But geez, does it gnaw at me? I can't help but wonder what exactly Hidri is working on, shut away in her room, which makes me feel restless. Left with no better way to pass my time and no real means of supporting Hidri, I throw myself into household chores with renewed energy. I make Hidri extravagant meals, I scrub the bathtub clean, and polish the floorboards in the entrance hall until they're spotless. These seem like pretty empty gestures given how hard Hidri herself is working, but I feel like I have to do something. I can't afford to rest on my laurels while Hidri is toiling away. I vow to do everything in my power to help Hidri write, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I won't let anything distract her from her labors. Before I know it, a whole week passes, and neither hide nor hair of Hidri during this time, but she eats the meals I leave by her bedroom door. In the past, she only picked on her food, but during this week of fevered activity, she eats every last bite, right down to the individual grains of rice. I guess she must be shoring up her strength. When I next clap eyes on Hidri, it's that the weekend she leaves her room, not because I suspect she wants to, but because she has to. Say has another meeting scheduled with her so she can discuss her progress. I know neither Hidri nor Say enjoys these meetings, but I think Say would be pleasantly surprised by Hidri's shift in attitude, or at least I hope she is. Say arrives around 11 in her sleek black car. I hear her pull up outside and hasten to meet her, smiling as I do so. Say, it's good to see you again. I hope you had a nice drive here. Oh, these country roads are always a pain to navigate. I'm still in one piece though, which is a blessing. Say laughs, but her face is taut with tension. I think she's anxious about her upcoming meeting with Hidri. Excuse me. She's no doubt wearing beneath her carefully made up face how much or how little work Hidri has done in her absence. I've no doubt she's preparing herself for a worst-case scenario. I guess when it comes to Hidri, Say lost her faith a long while ago. Is working with Hidri that difficult? Having known Hijri for around a month myself, I think I can answer that question quite plainly. Yes, it certainly is. Hijri can be in immense pain when she wants to, which is funny given how small she is, but I have faith in her regardless. She certainly sounded sincere when she said she was going to work harder. I'm sure she made a whole bunch of progress. When she gets serious, there's nothing Hijri can do. Come inside. Hijri is waiting for you in the living room. I'm sure the two of you will have a bunch to talk about. I lead Sei indoors. She follows, closing the door behind her, and bends to remove her shoes. Sei wears sighs while undoing one of the silver buckles, her bobbed hair swishing against her cheekbones, and says, "That depends on how much work she's done. I like to believe in her, but, well, I've been having these meetings with Hijri for the last 6 months, and they've all been inconclusive. I'd be foolish to get my hopes up now." Damn. She's like, I don't know. Hey, don't be so down. Hijri's been working really hard since you left, you know? Oh, has she? Sei arranges her shoes in a row beside mine and straightens, one neatly plucked eyebrow raised. That will be the other day. Don't you have any faith in her? It isn't that I know Hijri can work hard when she chooses to, but as of late, it's clear she's not felt much like choosing to. Motivating her is almost impossible. She's so stubborn to the point of self-destructiveness. I could light a literal fire beneath her, and I doubt she'd make any attempts to put it out. I come away from each of our meetings feeling more and more dispirited. She's so listless, I worry she might have given up on writing altogether. I'm sure that's not true. I know Hijri's been having a hard time lately, but she's not the sort to call it quits. She has way too much pride over that. Well, he might be right there. Sei chuckles. It sounds like you understand Hijri very well. I've been trying to. It's not always easy. She's about as communicative as a brick wall. But there's one thing she didn't bank on. I'm stubborn too. I don't like backing down from a challenge. If it's a challenge you're after, getting through Hijri certainly qualifies. I shouldn't speak ill of my own clients, but nobody frustrates me as much as she does. She isn't a bad person, but... Sei's voice trails away, especially as she smiles. Oh, listen to me. I shouldn't be gossiping so. Not in Hijri's own house. My manners must have deserted me. I concur. A quiet voice interrupts us, which makes both Sei and I start. Hijri? I whipped about to face her, and she's standing in the hallway, arms crossed, looking much the same as always. Her feet are bare, which she isn't wearing any makeup, though I think she did put a touch more effort than usual in her appearance. Her hair looks slightly less ratty than usual, like it's actually seen a brush. Did you do this for Sei's sake? I thought you were waiting in the living room. I was waiting in the living room until I got tired of it. You were taking too long. I was wondering what the holdup was and whether it was anything serious. But now I can see I was worrying unnecessarily. Did the pair of you enjoy gossiping about me and how incredibly awful I am? Did it make you feel any better, Sei? What? Oh no. No. Hijri scoffs. So, insulting me didn't lift your spirits? What, then I ask you, is the point in assassinating my character so? It sounds like a complete waste of time. Say opens and closes her mouth, but no words come out. By this point, her face is ghastly pale, like porridge. Hijri really is something. She can render even the most put-together people into bashfulness with not a glance. It's a good thing she's too lazy to use her power for evil means. Most of the time, she struts herself away in her room. She'd make a pretty good nun, now that I think about it, though her attitude might be a touch too spiky. I'm very sorry, Hijri. Say eventually stammers, but after an awkward pause. I was being awfully rude. I hope you can forgive me. There's nothing to forgive. You are only speaking the truth. I am frustrating. It's a fact I'm well aware of. I hardly need you to tell me that. I don't doubt that I've been the cause of many sleepless nights for you, Say, or that I've given you more than your fair share of headaches. If anything, I'm the one who should be apologizing to you. Hijiri smiles thinly. But I think you'll come away from today's meeting feeling significantly more positive than you did during your last. Oh? Say's eyes furrowed. Mayo said something similar. Have you been working on your manuscript, Hijiri? As if my life depends on it, yes. Unlike your uncharitable assessment of me, you see, I'm not so very lazy. I wouldn't attempt to put the hypothetical flames if I caught a lit. Oh my. Did you hear me say that too? I have good ears. Don't underestimate me now. Hijiri glances the entrance, arms folded. This isn't the right place for such a discussion. Would you care to come to the living room with me, Say? Yes, of course. What about me? Should I hang back? Strictly speaking, yes. The matters Say and I must discuss don't involve you. Your presence would be quite pointless. Oof, that stinks. I know Hijiri is right, but did she have to say it like that? Clearly she's never heard that sugar helps the medicine go down, which is funny given how much she loves sweets. I have no real need of you, but... Hijiri demurs, her brown eyes focused upon mine. Knowing you, it seems likely you tried to eavesdrop on our conversation regardless. Ugh. If I could, I'd retort with a self-conscious cry of, what do you take me for? I'm not that shameless. But in truth, I know Hijiri is right. I am that shameless. I'm so invested in Elf Wars, I definitely find a way to listen in, even after being barred entry from the room where it happens. I did it once before and I'd definitely do it again. I've clearly not learned my lesson. That being the case, you might as well join us. I'm sure you're just as interested in my progress, if not more so than Say is. What? Is that really alright? Do you want me to change my mind? No, of course not. Then come along. Let's not tarry. Right. I paused, my fingers curled at my sides. Before I leave, do you want me to brew any tea? That's standard protocol whenever guests are over. My mother would sooner pull her fingernail out than forego serving tea to any guest. Hijiri, however, is far less house-proud than my mother is, and much more efficient. It's fine. I can't imagine that our discussion will last that long. The tea would be nothing more than a distraction, unless you're thirsty, Say. Not particularly. I would far rather get down to brass tacks. I thought you'd say that. After all the fruitless meetings we've had, at this point it would be best to dispense with pleasantries and get things over with. It's a bit like ripping off a band-aid. It hurts less the faster you do it. Hidri smiles thinly, then sets off anew through the hallway. Say and I follow behind her until we arrive at the living room. Hidri pulls the sliding door open, then ushers us inside. She waits until both Say and I are seated, then sits herself on the opposite side of the table. Now, let's get down to business. Hidri picks up a bulging manila envelope which is lying on the tabletop and hands it to Say. This is for you. Take it. Oh? Say turns the envelope over, her brow furrowed with curiosity. What's this? Part of your manuscript? Not quite. Then, what is it? It's all of my manuscript, not just a measly part of it. I finished the whole 9th volume of Alforus, all 6 chapters of it. There's only 6 chapters in a volume. Well, I guess considering it's like a manga type, I guess. It comes in volumes. I mean, wait, no. Normal books, you call them volumes. Well, you don't call them seasons. Series is a whole set. Volumes, well, I thought they were considered as next books. Hold on. In a book sets, what is each individual book called? Oh, okay, so it is called a volume. In a book set, each individual book is called a volume. This term is commonly used to refer to the separate parts of a collection or series of books. For example, in an encyclopedia set, each book within the set is referred as a volume, providing detailed information on various topics. Okay, that makes sense. I'm a dumbass. I don't know why. I don't know, the same volume just only pops up to my head as manga, but I guess that it works for all books. I think for me personally, I always go, oh yeah, when's the next book coming out? Or, yeah, never, when's the next volume coming out? Yeah, that seems weird. Oh well, okay, but that's how it's actually called. It's called a volume. But 6 chapters? That's kind of a short book, I guess. Dang, how many pages though? What? No way. Both Say and I stared at Hidri, our mouths skip. I figured Hidri must have done some work on Alfor's next volume, but I never thought she finished the whole thing. I know light novels are slimmer and shorter than most literary novels. By literary novels, I mean the kinds you see in bookshops with dark and serious covers devoid of wide-eyed anime girls, but they're still packed with words. It takes me about 4 hours to read through a volume of Alforus, which, granted, might be kind of slow since I'm not the world's quickest reader. Somebody more used to skimming through text than I am might be able to get through a volume in half that time, but reading's totally different from writing. Did Hidri really write volume 9 in a week? That's crazy. It's such a Is such a productivity even possible? You aren't joking, are you, Hidri? Did you seriously finish the 9th volume already? Uh-huh. Hidri nods briefly, almost imperceptibly. She looks utterly unmoved by her accomplishments, like it's no big deal. But to me, it's a very, very big deal indeed. But if you had 6 chapters to write, and 7 days to write them in, then... My brow furrows. Didn't you have to write like 1 whole chapter a day? Indeed, I did. Well done for figuring that out. You might just have the making of a mathematics professor. Hidri smiles thinly. I wrote 1 chapter a day and set the 7th day aside for proofreading. It was perfectly doable. I didn't have to push myself all that hard. But isn't each chapter of Elf Forest like thousands of characters? There are around 20,000 characters, yes. And you wrote that much each day? Indeed I did. It isn't beyond the realms of possibility. Maybe not for you, but I'd never be able to pull that off. I couldn't even write a 5,000 character essay for school in a day. It always took me a week at least, and even then I struggled to meet the character count. Well, that's hardly a surprise. Hidri snorts dismissively. You're not a writer, unlike me. Turning my thoughts into words is my only real talent. I'd be a poor author indeed if I couldn't manage this much. I know others who are capable of writing even more quickly than I am, to an even higher standard of quality. I wouldn't have felt obliged to work as fast as I did, though, if I had to put this business off for such a long time. I confess to my fingers do feel somewhat sore after all that typing. Hidri flexes her fingers to prove her point, her digits curling in midair. But I suppose I brought it upon myself. I'm sure you suffered worse, say, during your dealings with me. I hope my prior thoughtlessness didn't cause you too many concerns. I can't lie. I was beginning to worry about Elf Forest's future. You said as much, yes. But this has done a good deal to assuage my concerns. Seizo opens the manila envelope, then extracts from within a thick stack of white pages. She gives them a cursory flip through, her eyes roving back and forth before slotting them back into the envelope. Goodness me, you really have been busy. I could hardly help myself. Once I got back into the swing of things, I found I couldn't stop. I rather enjoy writing this volume, despite my prior misgivings. Well, that is a relief. I hate to think you'd be forcing all this out. I've been working on it as an agent for a while, and I think as writers' best work comes through genuine passion rather than sense of obligation. I quite concur. I thought my well of inspiration had run dry, but I've had a change of heart since your previous visit. I'm glad to hear it, but what prompted this sudden burst of activity? I doubt it was my lecture. You've never been one to listen to me. No, indeed it was not. Your lecture did make me feel guilty, but it didn't motivate me. The person who really changed my mind was Mayo. Huh? It was? Both Sei and I stare at Hidri, both of us equally shocked, I think, at this revelation. I'm sure this has to be some kind of joke, but... Indeed it was. I'm being serious. I don't say things I don't mean. I don't like wasting my words. Well, I never. I thought you'd be a good influence on Hidri, Mayo, but I never imagined your company would help her this much. Sei looks at me newfound. Respect, maybe? Reverence? I'm unsure. It's hard to read her expressions. What did you say to Hidri to get through to her? I've been trying for years to limit his results, while you've only known her for a month. I don't know, really. I just spouted a bunch of nonsense. Nonsense or not, it must have been convincing. You'll need to tell me your secrets. What Mayo said can't be replicated. Her passion is unique to her, I'm afraid. She didn't use any particularly fancy phrases, but still, she was able to impress upon me her fondness for Elf Forest. Without her earnest support, I doubt I would have been able to dredge up the wherewithal to work this volume. I was beginning to doubt my own abilities, but I think I can keep going. Here, Hidri smiles, albeit softly. Provide I have fans out there enthusiastic as Mayo, that is. Hooray. $20,000 characters a day, huh? That really is something. Say mutters this under her breath while pulling her shoes on by the entrance. She adjusts them one-handedly and the other still gripping the manila envelope, then straightens her bobbed hair, brushing her jaw. I guess that's kind of special, huh? Oh yes, I've worked with many authors in my time, but it's rare to receive a full manuscript in such a short time frame. Though, considering the months of nothingness this precedes this, Hidri's progress is still on the slower side. She could work at half, nor a quarter of the speed she did this week, if only she was more consistent. I guess being a pain is kind of Hidri's thing. It is, indeed. It's her forte, in fact. Forget being a writer. She could be a professional pain in the backside. She can be impressive, though. When she puts her mind to it, I'm very appreciative of all her work. It should get my higher-ups off my back, for the present at least. So... I look at Sei curiously while toying with a strand in my hair. What do you think of Hidri's manuscript? So far? Sei glances at the manila envelope that's stuck beneath her arm. I haven't had a chance to read it properly. I've only skimmed it. I know, but what's your general impression? Does it seem interesting? Hidri's writing is always interesting. Whether it's not its publishable remains to be seen. Do you think she'll have to write a bunch of it? She'll have to make changes, yes. I can tell you that much even before I've read it. When a series becomes popular as Elf Forest, the writer must relinquish some creative control as a matter of course. A lot of important people are banking on Elf Forest's continued profitability. Hidri mentioned that before, but I didn't know how strict it was. I wonder if that's why she lost interest in the series. I imagine that played a big part in it, yes. Hidri has always been very protective of her stories. She doesn't like altering things to suit other people's taste. We've had a lot of arguments about suggested edits in the past. I just hope we don't need to change too much about this volume. It's already took a small eternity for Hidri to finish it, though I'm glad she did. Now we have to build on. It should be possible to finalize things. A good deal of progress has been made. Smiling, Sei nudges me with her elbow. And as I gather, it's all thanks to you. Oh no, I don't think I did anything that special, really. You're being too modest. I've talked to Hidri about her productivity, or lack of, numerous times, but I've never made any headway. I don't know what you said to her, but it must have stuck. You've really talked her around. Perhaps you're not realize, not having known Hidri as long as I have, but I think she's changed since you moved in with her. Do you really think so? I know so. Sei nods decisively, her black bob fluttering. She's still as prickly as ever, but she seems more open to amenable conversation than she was. She's mellowed out a good deal. Talking to her is an almost pleasant experience now. You've been a wonderful influence on her, Mayo. Please keep it up. Sei rests her hands upon my shoulder, then gives it a squeeze. You're making my job an awful lot easier. And though Hidri might not say it, I think you're making her happier too. Really? I look at Sei dubiously. I always seem to annoy her. Everybody annoys Hidri, or so she claims. I wouldn't take it to heart. You know her, she's genuinely upset with you. She isn't the one to mince her words, nor hide her feelings. I gathered as much, haha. She isn't the easiest person to get along with, but from my perspective, limited though it is, things seem to be going well. Hidri did finish her manuscript, and that isn't all. She was smiling more than she used to, though I think she smiled the most when she was looking at you. Huh? I feel a hot flush creep to my cheeks. Suddenly shy, I have to glance away from Say, my eyes averted. Do you really think so? I don't want to get my hopes up, but I do, yes. Take it from me, as somebody who knows Hidri for years, I think she's taken quite the liking to you. Sai gives my shoulders another comforting squeeze, then retracts it, a playful, almost mischievous smile flitting about her carmine mouth. I didn't know Hidri had it in her to be so sweet. She really has changed. Damn. Excuse me. Goodness, dealing with Say is always so tedious. Hidri sighs in relief when Say has gone. Her head drooping, she looks utterly drained from that counter, though she did a little more than kneel at the table in the living room. I already knew this, but Hidri's reaction to her and Say's little tete-a-tete makes one thing blindingly obvious, namely that she isn't a people's person. Hidri seems to tolerate Say. She's even spoken fondly of her in the past, but any discussion that lasts for more than half an hour seems more than Hidri can stand. All things considered, it's a wonder she's able to put up with me at all. Maybe I should be grateful she even lets me talk to her. You and Say are quite similar. Do you know that? Hidri glowers at me while I'm in the process of pouring her a freshly brewed cup of green tea. I thought I might perk her up. You don't look very much alike, but you're both annoying and intrusive. It must run in your family. We're not really related, you know. She's like an aunt to me. Yes, well, her ways must have rubbed off on you. Hidri sniffs. The pair of you will be the death of me. Neither of you take no for an answer. If it weren't for your nagging, I never would have pushed myself like I did. But I suppose things worked out in the best. I am relieved I was able to finish Volume 9 at long last. I passed my deadline goodness knows how many times. If it had been a university essay, my lecturers would have long gone since given up on me. I think even Say was nearing her limit, however boundless her patience might appear. Hidri traces the rim of her cup with her index finger. Her expression is pensive, her eyes half-lidded. Her eyes are always half-lidded, Mayo. Thank you for telling me 100 times. Though I'm risking inflation to your ego, I must give credit where it is due. None of this would have happened were it not for you. Hidri surveys me from beneath a sweep of long eyelashes. Her expression is hard to gauge, but I can sense the attitude in her voice alone and how it trembles. Thank you, Mayo, for supporting me. I really do appreciate it. It's no problem. I might have cheered you on, yeah, but you're the one who did all the actual work. Nothing would have happened if you hadn't put a pen to paper. Do you really think I don't know that? I'm the one who did all the real work, of course. And putting pen to paper, don't make me laugh. That's funny. Hidri sure doesn't look like she's about to laugh. I don't think I've heard her laugh since my first day here when Barney gave me the fright of my life. It's been almost a month since then. I thought I'd never settle in here, but now, look at me. Hidri's home feels almost as welcome as mine. Time sure does fly. I don't write with a pen and paper. That's archaic. Why, it's positively primeval. We live in the 21st century. Laptops exist for a reason. I'm not going to write something out physically, only to type it up later. What a crock of nonsense. I like doing that though. I like the feeling of pen and paper sometimes. Like, I've wrote stories before, and then just as much as I also like the feeling of typing on my keyboard too, there's just something nice about having that traditional pen and paper style to write on. Hidri shakes her head dismissively. I do everything on my PC. I don't mean to boast, but I'm quite the accomplished typist. I bet you are. To write a whole chapter in a week? That's really incredible. I pour myself a cup of tea, taking no heed of Hidri's scorn at this point. I'm used to it. Then sit back onto my haunches. Facing Hidri from the opposite side of the table, I take my cup into both hands and bring it to my lips. I sip my tea, savoring its soothing flavor, and then set the cup aside. So, did you like the writing in the 9th volume of Alforus? I really can't wait to read it. I'm afraid you'll have to wait. It still needs to be edited, then proofread, then formatted. There's a lot of work left to go. It won't be ready for publication for another month at the absolute earliest. I wouldn't be surprised if the higher-ups at Horizon tried to push it out more quickly than usual, though. L4's anime is airing in October. There isn't long to go. As for whether or not I enjoyed writing it, Hidri wrinkles her nose. I didn't despise it, as I feared I might, but there are many other stories I would rather be working on. Such as? All sorts. I have a lot of ideas, but I don't have the time to explore any of them properly. I've written a few chapters of these more promising concepts, but Sei doesn't care to look through them. She tells me I should focus on Elf-Forest. She doesn't believe I have the time to begin yet another series. And she's probably right. The large lapse between Volume 8 and Volume 9 of Elf-Forest says a lot about my working capabilities. I haven't done myself any favors, but how can I help my lack of interest when Elf-Forest has become so trite? I want to write more mature stories, set in the real world, with characters who act and think like real people. I'm tired of writing escape fantasy tropes, but that, as Sei, is what the market wants. I'm sure she's right about that too. She manages a lot of aspiring authors, most of whom are far less successful than I am. Sei has figures to back up her claims. I have no room for complaint, really, and yet there's a lot of other things I want to write, but my wants are irrelevant. The market only cares about Elf-Forest. My old fans keep buying my latest volumes, and new fans buy the earliest ones. My sale figures keep rising, which means I have an obligation to keep working. I've been shackled to Elf-Forest for 4 years already. When will I be allowed to quit? In 5 years? 10? 15? When do I look at my future? I can't see anything else. Thinking about it, it's pretty depressing. Hidri. I lean across the table, meaning to rest a hand on Hidri's shoulders, but soon decide against it. I don't think that'll be any help to her. Instead, I offer her a small smile. You don't need to think about that now. You finished Volume 9, at least. That's good enough. Now why don't we go for a walk? It might help you feel better. You've been cooped up inside for way too long. Staring at your laptop, of course, you feel depressed. Fresh air is just what the doctor ordered. Oh? Hidri's lips curled. Don't take the authoritative tone with me. You're not a doctor. I'd sooner let Cornelia operate on me than I would you. Cornelia is a famously clumsy character. She's always tripping over her own feet, but she doesn't let that get her down. She's determined to become a famous knight, like her beloved hero, Luce, so she can defend her kingdom from invaders. I'm surprised Hidri would bring up one of her own characters in casual conversation, given how much she seems to dislike her own work, but it makes me smile regardless. I don't much like going outside anyway. That's where other people are, and they're all stupid. Dealing with the world is a huge hassle, but dealing with my own thoughts can be even worse at times. Will you look out for me if I agree to go with you? Of course, that's like part of my job. You can count on me. I wonder about that. Hidri's tone is scathing, but she smiles regardless. Well, at least you're not utterly useless. You've proven your worth during this last week, so I shall bequeath myself onto you. Please look out for me. Protect me from all the stupid people in the world. I'll be placing myself in your care. There are dark purplish blue bags beneath Hijiri's eyes, and her skin looks washed out from the lack of sleep, but I don't think she's completely worn out. If she was, she wouldn't be able to joke around like this. That's quite the relief, given how hard she's been working. Hidri might be a pessimistic person, but she tries her hardest. I can't help but respect her for that. There's always say, don't meet your idols, but Hidri hasn't disappointed me. She might have hurt me once or twice, yeah, but I know I've done the same thing to her. I think that might be inevitable. I can never pronounce that word properly. Inevitable. Anemone. We're humans, so of course we'll upset one another. But Hidri is an incredibly hard worker. She's even more dutiful than Cornelia, and she's much less clumsy. How could I not like her? Don't worry, Hidri. You'll be fine with me. I guarantee it. Oh, okay, that's kind of cute. Whew. But here's the thing. Like Hidri said, they're in the 21st century. She has a laptop, and she's saying that she can't really work on all these other projects. But if this is the same world as ours, there's obviously Twitter, there's Reddit, there's probably you can make your own website and publish your own stories on there, if anything. Ones that aren't getting picked up by your current publishers, but who knows, you already have a full story formatted ready, and if they finally end that Alforus chapter of the company's life, they could pick up one of her other stories that has already been published and just needs a novel form. She's putting herself down even more, saying she can't work on all these new stories and projects when she can, but it's just you're choosing not to. Granted, this is also the time where since she finished volume 9, she has the opportunity to go about and work on all these other projects. Excuse me. God dang. But, I don't know. In the end, it's her choice to do so or not, but she does have all these resources that she can use. She's just not using them. Anyway. It's such a nice day. I sigh contented as I walk through the forest. The sun rays are bright, but the dense bower of the leaves above my head blocks the worst of them. The light that does reach the forest floor, meanwhile, is of the mild variety, warm enough to soothe, not scald. When I inhale, I can smell the scent of foliage, mingled with the rich aroma of earth. My nostrils twitch as I drink it all in. I can hear birds chirping among themselves in the trees, hidden out of the sight, and the air swells with the hummings of hundreds of cicadas. Winged insects flit about in the air, darting from flower to flower. It's such a peaceful scene, it looks like something lifted from a fairy tale. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if I stumbled upon an enchanted cottage made of gingerbread sitting in the middle of the clearing. These woods sure are pretty. I smile more to myself than to Hidri, who looks utterly unmoved by the beauties of nature. She's not said a word actually since we set off on our little walk. Right now she's doing a wonderful impression of a Jesus statue. I wonder if she'd respond if I prodded her. That might be an amusing experiment if I wasn't afraid that she'd scold me for it. Oh well, I won't let Hidri's churliness spoil my fun. She's probably used to the forest, having lived in this village for... Actually, I don't know how long she's lived out here, but it must have been a few years at the very least. I mean, well, I spent almost all of my childhood in Kawasaki. I don't have any relatives out in the countryside, so my parents have never had any reason to travel too far afield. This is still new to me. The intense greenery of my surrounding is very novel. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to properly enjoy this forest when I last came here, but I feel a lot better now. My feet are so light, I feel like I could almost fly. You're so lucky, Hidri, having this on your doorstep. I love to be able to wander around the woods whenever I feel like it. You're exaggerating. The forest isn't anything special. Hidri scuffs at the ground with the tip of her shoe, her lips pursed into a pout. You can find forests everywhere. There's nothing to recommend about them, particularly not in the summer, when they're full of nasty insects. I can't stand bugs. Really? I didn't know that. I grinned, then nudged Hidri in the side with my elbow. Are you the sort who screams when you see a cockroach? No, what do you take me for, a 2-year-old? I'm not afraid of insects, I just dislike them. They're so small they could get in places they shouldn't, and they're so fast. Creepy too. Hidri shudders. They have entirely too many legs, or too many eyes, and some of them bite. They're disgusting. The world would be better off without them. I'm surprised you feel so passionately about this. I giggled, then licked my arm behind my head. I'm not a fan of bugs either, but I wouldn't care for them to be killed. They're pretty useful, so I have heard. Not in my bathtub, they're not. Well, you might have a point there. Alright, what about this? The next time you find a creepy crawly in the bathtub, or in your bedroom, or in the kitchen, or anywhere, you should tell me. I'll take care of it and no problem. You don't need to go that far. I'm not a child, like I said. I dealt with my own spiders before you arrived, and I'm sure I'll be able to deal with them when you leave. I won't be leaving for a while though, right? That depends. On what? My mood. That's not exactly reassuring. I let my hands fall from my head and peered curiously at my companion. I thought things were good between us. They're fine for now, but don't get complacent. I can change my mind just like that. Hidri clicks her finger, or at least she tries to. She doesn't succeed though. Maybe her hands are damp from perspiration, or maybe she's out of practice. Either way, it makes me snort. I know I probably shouldn't laugh at my employer's face, especially not when we're discussing my potential future dismissal, but I can't help it. I didn't know Hidri had a clumsy side. Hey. Hidri glowers at me, her arms folded. Don't laugh at me. I wasn't laughing at you. That's not the most convincing argument, but it's the only one I can make. Admitting that I was in fact laughing at Hidri seems like a good way to go about being lectured. That or fired. Hidri of course remains unconvinced. She looks at me coolly, hands planted on her hips, and says, Then what was that strange sound you made? That was I had something caught in my throat. Huh. Hidri presses her lips together. Alright, I believe you for now, but don't try to make a fool out of me. I'm not in a good mood. Really? Aren't you happy that you finished writing Volume 9 of Elf Forest? It's a relief, yes, but I don't know if I'm happy about it, and I'm not quite finished yet either. I'm certain Say will tell me to change things when she read through the chapters I handed to her. I can't let myself relax until it's all been okayed, and really don't like walking in the woods. Because of the insects? Hijiri nods. The mosquitoes are particularly annoying, and almost as insistent as my fans. For some reason, they can't keep away from me. I wish they'd leave me alone. The mosquitoes? And my fans. Oh, now that's pretty pointed. Did she mean that as a jab? Hijiri might be lacking the protruding proboscis. Now that's a good word that mosquitoes have, but I think her words are even more piercing. Sorry about that. At the very least, I can promise I'm not going to suck your blood. You can rest easy on that score. Speaking of blood, though, now I'm curious. You don't have some super rare blood type, do you? No, I'm plain old A. I don't think anything about you is plain. Apart from your fashion sense, maybe. I ponder, one hand beneath my chin. I wonder why mosquitoes like you so much. Could it be that your blood is really, really delicious? I wouldn't know. I haven't thought to taste it. Maybe they're attracted by your sunny disposition then. Ha ha. Hijiri laughs wryly without a rumor and then abruptly slaps her upper arm with her palm. A dull smack rings through the forest, mingled with the sound of our footsteps. I look at Hijiri's askance. Was that a mosquito? It got away though. Hijiri draws her palm away. I can see any smudged ink that's smeared on her skin, but I can see a small smear of blood, about the size of a pinhead. Hijiri winces. I'll be full of holes when we get back. This is why I can't stand going outside. I take it you're not a country girl? Hijiri shakes her head. But you don't like crowded places either. She shakes her head again. So forests are out, and so are cities. What's left? The Antarctic, maybe. Wouldn't that be kind of chilly? It would suit my personality. You're not wrong about that, but I don't think you're that cold. Other people would disagree. Maybe they would, but I'm not other people, just like you're not other writers. Don't think I've forgotten about what you said. We're just ourselves at the end of the day, and I think you're pretty fun to talk to. You'd be the only person to think that, assuming you aren't humoring me. But thank you. I'm not finding your company quite as tiresome as it could be, although... Oops, I thought she smacked Mayo for a second. Hijiri slaps her arm again, then winces. I wish these mosquitoes would leave me alone. Did you get it? Hijiri shakes her head. Maybe the third time will be the charm. Do you think it's possible to catch a mosquito between your thumb and forefinger like characters do in action movies? For me, personally, I doubt it. I've always been terrible at sports. What about Luce? Could she do it? I can't say I ever thought about it. Really? But there's that scene in Volume 8 where she gets into a fight with Veer and she stops the sword with one hand. That was really cool. That was also fictional. I guess. Hijiri and I continue to meander about the forest, chatting idly all the while. Our conversation is aimless, but I'm enjoying it regardless. I think this is the first time I ever felt so relaxed in Hijiri's company. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope Hijiri is too, despite her thwarted attempts at warding off her throng of blood-sucking fans. Eventually, guided by the distant sound of running water, we arrive at the banks of a river. The trees are thinner here, and the sunlight shines upon our heads more harshly. It shines upon the river too, as it wends its lazy way through the forest, twisting and turning like the body of a serpent. The water in the river is a clear greenish blue, and it glimmers in the sunlight. Tall glass fringes the riverbanks, uneven with winged insects hovering in the air about it. These insects have patterned wings like stained glass and long, thin bodies like pipe cleaners, which lead me to believe that they are dragonflies. They're much prettier than the mosquitoes that have been tormenting Hidri, and they seem more docile. They flitted here and there, their wings humming so fast I can scarcely follow them. Oh wow! This is gorgeous. Don't you think so, Hidri? It's not bad, I suppose. I'm not sure it's worth the walk, though. I feel tired. That's probably because you don't exercise enough. I poke Hidri in the side teasingly. I think you'll be fine. And if I'm not? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Huh. Hidri pouts. You're so thoughtless. I prefer happy-go-lucky. Yes, so like I said, thoughtless. Mayo has no thoughts, just empty head. I don't think those phrases mean quite the same thing. They might as well. Now, aren't you the one who said each word has its own meaning? You can't muddle them like that, or it'll defeat the point. Touché. I grin, buoyed by my victory, no matter how small, then survey the river. I can see silvery scales flashing beneath the water, bright and white in the sunlight. They must be fish, but I can't afford for the life of me to identify what fish they are. I don't know the first thing about nature. I wonder if they taste good. Hey, Hidri, do you think I could skip a rock to the other side of this river? I don't know. Does it matter? Not really, no, but it'll be something fun to do. I've never tried this before. Let's see how it goes. I bend and retrieve a smooth, flat rock from the riverbank. I wrap the rock straight in my back and then try to skip into the water, like I've seen characters do in movies. Unfortunately, I don't have much practice. I can't flick my wrist right, so rock when it sails from my hands sinks like a rock. Not one to be deterred, but I bend to retrieve a second rock. I adjust my posture when I throw it, but it goes the same way as the first, to the silty bottom of the riverbank with an anticlimactic plop. Hidri watches as I try and fail to skip a third rock, then a fourth, her arms so resolutely folded. A lukewarm breeze blows, which stirs a few loose tendrils of her hair about her face. She frowns. Why do you keep doing that? 'Cause it's fun. You find failing over and over fun? Hidri's lips curled. Are you a masochist? No, I'm not. It's just... Look at it this way. It's natural that you fail when you start doing something new, but you can't let it get to you. You've got to take things in your stride, otherwise you'll never be able to improve. So saying I arc my right hand back and slip my seventh, or is it my eighth rock? Whichever it is, the attempt goes better than the previous ones. I actually managed to skip it once, before the river swallows it in a spray of white droplets. Ripples fans out across the water surface, then fade, once the rock sinks to the riverbed. Alright. I punch my fist in the air, all smiles. It looks like I'm getting better. What do you think, Hidri? I think you're overreacting. This is hardly worth getting excited about. But you are improving, yes. I'll grant you that. Thanks. I grinned and fished for about the next rock. I talk to Hidri while I practice, my eyes focus on the opposite bank fringed with trees rather than her face. I don't need to see it to know she's probably frowning. So, I was wondering, what is it? Adria's fingers tap against the inside of her arm. Knowing you, I'm sure it's something stupid. Maybe it is. I just want to know, don't you ever get bored cooped up inside your house? Not really. I have so much to do. I don't often have the luxury of being bored. Fed up then? It can't be much fun sitting indoor all the time, and it seems like such a waste. You live in a pretty nice part of the world. It's kind of isolated, yeah, but I bet there's a lot of scenic places to visit. You can drive, right? I can. There'd be no point having a car otherwise. Don't you ever drive anywhere yourself, for walks and stuff? I don't know much about riding, but that sounds like a good way to get inspiration. You wouldn't even need to deal with other people, not if you go to the mountains. I can barely stand walking through this forest. What makes you think I want to go to the mountains? Please use some common sense. Besides, Idri inhales. Even if there was anywhere I wanted to go, which there isn't, I wouldn't be able to. I don't like driving very much. Why not? Is it the country roads? I know they're a bit of a pain to navigate. They don't help, but it's more than that. I can drive. I can definitely drive better than you can, but I pause in my attempt at rock skipping. I'm not making much progress, then turn to Hidri. She's standing by the riverbank, her head bowed, the fingers on her right hand curled about her left wrist. Her shoulders are drawn, her back hunched. Hidri's height or lack of struck me during our very first meeting, but right now she looks smaller than ever, and even more delicate. I haven't hit a nerve, have I? Are you all right? I'm fine. It's just, well, this isn't something I like to talk about, but you would probably find out about it sooner or later, if not me, then from Sei. She can't help but poke her nose into my business. I know she does it because she cares for me, but... Hidri's voice trails off once more. She frowns, then she lifts her head. Her brown eyes meeting mine, and says, 5 years ago, I got into a car accident. What? I was expecting this more or less, but it still comes as a shock. Was it serious? Were you alright, Hidri? Naturally, can't you see as much? You do have eyes, don't you? Hidri glowers at me, but her voice lacks some of its typical bite. I'm alright now, like I said, it was a while ago, but it was pretty unnerving at the time. I was 23 when it happened. This was before I started working on L-Force, and before I became Tsuchimi Ryu. Back then, I still lived with my mother in Baraki. We've only had one car between us, my mother and me, which she usually used to get to work. I always take the train to get to university, though it was about an hour away. I remember thinking it was inconvenient. I don't like using public transport. There are too many people, and the trains get so hot and crowded during summer. That doesn't come to a surprise. I can't imagine Hidri would be thrilled at the prospect of public transport. Few people like being jostled about in the cramped train compartments, and Hidri is even more averse to spending time with strangers than most. It must have been hell for her. My mother wasn't feeling well, so she took the day off work. I thought I might as well use her car to save me the hassle of another train journey. I passed my driving test my very first attempt, and I'd never been involved in any accidents before. I didn't even consider the possibility of something going wrong, but... Hidri's voice trails off. She doesn't elaborate on what exactly happened, but she doesn't need to. I have enough information to fill the blanks. Something must have gone awry. I don't know whether that something was Hidri's fault or of a reckless driver's, but I don't suppose that matters too much. The end result is more important than the specifics. It was an unpleasant experience, not that I remember much of it. I was in the hospital for a long time. My mind was all muddled. The other person got off with minor injuries, but I cracked 3 of my ribs and broke my left arm. The car was completely ruined, of course. All things considered, I was probably lucky to survive. I was able to recover, as you can see, but I've not felt much like driving after that. I keep thinking about what might happen if I were to get behind a wheel and... I don't know. Hidri shakes her head. I still remember how to drive. I know I'm physically capable of it, but I can't bring myself to attempt it. It's been 5 years since the accident, but... Hidri grits her teeth together. I still dream about it sometimes. Isn't that ridiculous? I really need to get over myself, otherwise I'll never be able to get past this. I must sound so stupid. Hidri's diverse tone makes me wince. Hearing her story was painful enough, despite it being so abridged, but her own self-affectments is even worse. Oh, Hidri. My voice drops to a whisper. I wish you wouldn't be so hard on yourself. Though she doesn't say it in so many words, I think I know what Hidri's problem is. She must be afraid, and who wouldn't be, after being involved in a traumatic accident like that? I try to be happy-go-lucky, but I doubt even I would be able to get back into the swing of things after being banged up so badly. Healing takes time, or so I've heard. Hidri's physical wounds might have recovered, but mental scars can take a far longer to fade. I can't help but feel for her. She looks so frail, like a doll. I want nothing more than to hold her in my arms and console her. I can't stand to see her trembling. It'll be all right, Hidri. Don't you worry. I'll stay with you so you don't need to fret. I'm going to take good care of you from now on. What? Hey, Mayo. What are you? Hidri begins, but she's unable to finish. I descend upon her, my arms outstretched, meaning to pull her into an embrace. My only intention is to comfort Hidri. I don't have ulterior motives, I swear, but she doesn't seem to appreciate the gesture. That much I made readily apparent when she pushes me away. Stop that. I didn't ask for your pity. I know, but you look so sad. I just wanted to cheer you up. I appreciate the sentiment, I guess, but you're going about it all wrong. I don't need to be coddled. In the future, I appreciate it if you keep your distance. Hidri turns her nose up in the air and flounces away, arms folded. Unfortunately for her, however, she flounces a touch too dramatically. Her right foot slides out from underneath her, and then... Hidri falls with a high-pitched squeal. Hidri! I reach out, meaning to catch her outstretched hand, but I'm too late. I can only watch, alarmed, as my companion topples over backwards. She arches through the air, a few loose tendrils of brown hair fluttering about her. Then, with an almighty splash, she lands in a river. I got achievement, making a splash. Hidri loses her footing. Damn. Droplets of water fly everywhere, like confetti, and Hidri splutters. She is sprawled in the water, which reaches up to her waist. Her legs sprayed, one of her buns comes undone, and half her long wavy hair is trailing in the water. Hidri is dripping wet from head to toe. Mayo, you cretin, this is all your fault. And she looks incredibly pissed off. I can't say I blame her given the circumstances, but jeez. I really hope she doesn't hold this against me. Aw, we got another achievement. A soothing moment. Mayo makes amends. Sorry about that earlier, Hidri. I guess I got a little carried away.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Hidri's reply is steely. I can't see her face, given her back is positioned toward me, but I spent enough time in her company now to imagine her expression. She'll be scowling in likelihood, and I suppose I can't fault her for it. She did fall into the river, thanks to my antics. Had I been less hands-on, this wouldn't have happened. I've got to learn to control myself. I can't go around hugging women indiscriminately, no matter how cute they may be. That seems like a surefire way to get into trouble. If only Hidri wasn't so adorable. It's hard for me to keep a cool head when we're together. Those big brown eyes of hers do something to me, and then before I know it, all my self-control evaporates. That sounds like a flimsy excuse even inside my own head. I don't think I'm in a position to try and defend myself, so I offer Hidri another apology. It's the least I can do. I really am sorry. I was totally out of line. You didn't hurt yourself, did you?
It's fine. I've endured worse. You don't need to worry.
Right. My brow furrows. I wonder if Hidri's talking about her car accident. I suppose the tumble to the river would seem by comparison a trivial matter, nothing more than a mild inconvenience. It's funny to think that, up until a few hours ago, I had no idea Hidri had been involved in something so unpleasant. I claim to be Hidri's #1 fan, but there's a lot about her I don't know. We've been living under the same roof for a little under a month, and during this time, I can count the number of heartfelt conversations we had on one hand. I hope that changes in due course. I really would like to get to know her better. I think that's why I offered to brush Hidri's hair this evening after she stepped out of the bathtub. I wanted to apologize to her, but there was a selfish bent to my motives. I wanted to talk to her more. I like being with Hidri, though she often derides me. I've grown used to her barbs. Maybe I really am a masochist. I didn't expect Hidri would let me into her bedroom, not after the day's prior disaster, so it was quite the surprise when she relented. It came as an even bigger surprise when, after some consideration on Hidri's part, she actually allowed me to brush out the knots in her hair.
My hair is so long and thick it takes forever to maintain. My arms always get tired when I try to brush it myself. It's a bother. If you want to comb it yourself, you're more than welcome. I don't glean any enjoyment from it, and you do owe me. Just try to exercise some caution for once in your life, and don't tug too hard. I'll never forgive you if you make a mess of my hair.
It's been 5 minutes since Hidri gave me her seal of approval, and now the pair of us sitting together on Hidri's bed. Hidri is positioned in front of me, her head bowed, crossed legs like a child during a school assembly. Her hair, which is usually tied back in those messy twin buns, is loose, and it tumbles around her shoulders in auburn waves. I run a brush slowly through these curls, taking care not to tug it. I don't want to cause Hidri any further discomfort, not after I already managed to spoil her day. I'm trying to be careful. How does this feel? I pick at a knot with the bristles of the brush, doing my level best to untangle it. Hidri stepped out of the bath only 15 minutes prior, and she didn't do a very thorough job drying herself off. Her hair is still damp and her clothes are clinging to her. I swept Hidri's hair to one side. I could see droplets of water tracking their lazy, lackadaisical way down the column of her neck. Hidri smells good, at least. A soap and shampoo, a pleasant floral aroma exudes from her hair, which offsets the fusty smell of her darkened bedroom somewhat. Am I hurting you?
No, it's fine.
Hidri's voice is soft when she replies and smooth, like honey. I imagine her eyes must be half-lidded, her fingers curled upon her lap.
You're surprisingly good at this.
Well, thanks. I grin, not that Hidri can see it, and continue my ministrations. I have pretty long hair myself, so I know how to go about looking after it. Back in high school, I spent all my math classes hunting for split ends. I'm basically a pro.
You shouldn't sound so proud of that. I feel sorry for your math teacher. He must have been a real problem student.
Hey, I wasn't that bad.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe my teacher did get on my case once or twice.
Or dare I postulate thrice?
Well, yeah, but it's not my fault. Math is boring. It's not like I've ever needed to know how to expand brackets in the real world. And besides, I pout. Even if I had paid attention, I doubt anything would have stuck. It's hard to be invested in things if you don't care about them, you know?
Oh, I know. I'm only too aware.
I think hunting for split ends was significantly more productive use of my time than memorizing whatever is a dead-eyed Saito was trying to hammer into my head.
Dead-eyed Saito?
Yeah, some of us kids called him that. He looked miserable all the time, like he was gonna up and croak or something. He was really skinny and he had these crazy bags under his eyes. He used to give me the creeps. He's just like a zombie.
That does tend to happen in high school teachers, yes. It's not a very rewarding job, particularly not when they're stuck with students like you. The pay is poor, the hours are long, and they expect worked miracles. It's not possible to coax A grades out of every single student, but they still try.
Hidri exhales.
Did you never think to feel sorry for Saito?
No. Why should I? He was my math teacher.
He was still human.
Silly Hidri. I prod Hidri in the side so she squeaks. People who like math aren't human. They can't be. There's no way I could ever comprehend them or their strange alien brains. Mutual understanding is impossible.
I don't mind math. I was pretty good at it back in high school.
Huh, figures.
You don't sound surprised by that.
Nuh-uh. You strike me as a sort who was good at everything. A real all-rounder.
I was, for the most part. I didn't like PE very much, though.
That doesn't come as a surprise either. I giggle. I guess we're pretty dissimilar. Not that I need a record of your past exam results to know that much. I find you pretty hard to comprehend too at times, but I am trying. I really do want us to be friends despite our differences. I'm being serious about this.
I know. I can tell. It's...
Hidri pauses. A brief silence passes between us, splits only by the sound of my own breathing, and the brush as it slides through Hidri's long hair. I wonder what Hidri means to say. My imagination is active as per usual, and it hastens to fill the missing adjective. Annoying, maybe, exhausting, irritating. I suppose irritating carries the same meaning as annoying, but given Hidri is a writer, she must have a wealth of synonyms tucked away inside that head of hers. Now that I think about it, there's a lot of ways to express annoyance. There's frustrating and aggravating and vexing too. Hidri could hit me with any one of those descriptors, and I would be powerless to argue back. I actually agree with her. I can be pretty annoying, irritating, frustrating, aggravating, and vexing. Sometimes I get on my own nerves. What Hidri eventually says, however, after this pause, shakes me.
It's appreciated.
Huh? I blink at Hidri, or to be more precise, I blink at the crown of her head. The brush is still gripped in my right hand, but I've come to a complete standstill. I'm not entirely sure what to say in response. All I can do is gawp. Hidri, you, It's a good thing Hidri is resolutely facing the wall, or she'd see how flushed my face is. Do you really mean that?
I do, yes. You should know by now that I don't say things if I don't mean them. You can be irritating at times.
Aha, so now she's breaking out the insults. I was wondering when this happened.
But you're an earnest person. Consider it too. When you aren't knocking me into a large body of water, that is.
That was a one-time thing.
I would certainly hope so. Otherwise, we will need to have stern words.
Almost all your words are stern.
Almost, but not all of them. I think I'm being very reasonable right now. I had my misgivings in the beginning, but I don't hate having you around. In fact, I think I might like it. Having somebody to talk to, I mean. Your company isn't unpleasant, but please don't get a swollen head. You're not perfect, not by any means. Nobody is, least of all myself. But if you're not too disillusioned with me, then...
Hidri glances at me from over her shoulder. Her wavy locks flutter about her slender shoulders, framing her face, and a rare small smile fits upon her lips.
Excuse me. I think I might like trying to be your friend. I'm not completely opposed to the idea, and you are awfully pushy. It'd be a waste of energy to fight against it any further.
Hidri, I open my mouth and close it. I feel so overwhelmed. I'm not entirely sure what I should say or what I should be doing. My emotional state is in shambles.
Are you alright, Mayo? You're pulling quite the curious face. You aren't having a stroke, are you?
No, I'm not. At least I don't think I am.
Good. That would be an inconvenience. I wouldn't like it if you passed out or away on my bed. We aren't yet at a stage in our relationship where I feel comfortable sharing a bed with you, and I'm not sleeping on the floor.
Not yet?
I parrot dumbly, a face flushing.
What exactly is Hidri implying here? She doesn't mean that I'm in with a chance, does she? Or does she? Ah, jeez. No, I don't know what to think.
Not yet. Or ever. I was joking.
Oh, yes, of course. That would make sense.
I wasn't joking about being your friend, though. That I am serious about. It's been a long while since I had any friends. I always thought that they were unnecessary, but even I can get lonely. Having you about the house brightens it up, so please don't die on me. Barney's the only corpse I need around here.
Right. I'll do my best not to croak, I guess.
Yes, you do that now.
Hidri turns her back towards me once more, her hands resting demurely on her lap.
Will you finish my hair, please? The knots will untangle themselves.
Yes, of course. Right away, milady.
You don't need to call me that either. It's giving me shivers, and not in a good way. Hidri is fine.
Right. I'm sorry. I'll get back to work.
Thank you, Mayo. I'll leave myself in your capable hands.
Hidri shovels against me, her mane of wavy hair inches from my face, the enticing scent of shampoo wafts from it, engulfing me in a flowery aroma. I sigh. My fingers, when I introduce the comb to Hidri's hair, are shaking. I would hug Hidri if I could, but I'm afraid of mussing up her hair, and I'm even more afraid that my heart wouldn't be able to take it. It's already pounding, fit to burst. Instead, I look at Hidri's back, my fingers buried in her tresses. And then I smile. Thank you, Hidri.
Why are you thanking me?
For accepting me, I guess, and for being so sweet to me. I don't know if I'll be able to much use going forward, but I'll like to keep cheering you on. I really do like you, Hidri. And I really am happy to be your friend.
No. Alright. That is going to be it for today's stream. A lot happened. And it does seem like the two are opening up to each other. Well, more so if Hidri is opening up to Mayo. But it's cute. It's great. Love it. Who knows? Maybe they might fall in love with each other. As this is a Yuri game. But anyways, that is it for today's stream. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, take care. Have a good one. Goodbye.